Plateau killings, why military failed to stop killing of over 200 Nigerians, defense headquarters says. Can you imagine? So after all the trouble now, defense headquarters is coming to give us a reason why they could not rescue and protect life and properties of the people of Plateau State. I don't think there's any excuse that will be tenable, that will be acceptable. That is it. Because these people, eh, they are humans. So why can't the military is trained to not able to combat them? That is bad. Why can't they combat them? And they are coming to explain. Initially, the one of the survivors said they called the defense quarter 37 times or more, and they didn't pick. And all they could say is that they don't have armament to come and face those people. And defense quarter initially in their initial report said the terrain is also very unusual for them, plus the very coordinated strategy of the assailants. What do you mean? Well, let's get into the details to see. The Nigerian military has provided explanations as to why troops could not stop the coordinated attacks on Plateau communities, which led to the killings of over 200 people. And now Senate is trying to summon them to come and explain, and they are going to explain rubbish there. Addressing journalists on the activities of troops across the country in 2023, the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Buba Edward, said that the Bokos and Barikin Ladi areas of Plateau State spanned about 2,315 square kilometers with over 350 villages, mostly dispersed. So what? So he noted that while troops had intervened in other communities, the damage was done because or before they arrived Bokos and Barkin Ladi. So the distance between some of these villages and troops' location is over 90 kilometers and sometimes difficult to access because of the rugged terrain, which is mostly inaccessible to vehicles, thus affecting the reaction time to incidents, except when there is credible intelligence before the attack, Edward said on Friday, December 29. That was yesterday. So on the night of 23 December 2023, over 100 Marudin armed militant headers suspected to be mercenaries carried out a series of unprovoked attacks from multiple fronts on Kambapeli village in the Bokos local government area of Plateau State, while the locals were asleep. So the militants unleashed mayhem on the villagers before the arrival of troops to the location. Similarly, on 24th December, at about 1900 hours, troops received a total of 36 distress calls from diverse locations simultaneously. So the distress calls reported a series of coordinated attacks by armed militant headers on isolated villages in Bokos and part of Barikin Ladi local government areas of Plateau State. So troops responded to the calls and were able to intervene in 19 villages, forcing the militants to withdraw. Unfortunately, the havoc had been committed before troops arrived at the other villages, so he noted. So in response to the letters notifying residents of a potential attack, Buba vowed that such an incident would never occur again in the state. Obviously, he's just speaking English. It will never occur again in the state. He said attacks on Plateau will never repeat itself. We have put modalities in place to ensure that whatever limited us the last time that did not allow us to get to some of these locations on time has been eliminated. We are aware of the letters and we are doing something. We are seriously going after those who perpetrated the crime. And English. It's now you are going after them. It's not going after them after they had done all the thing. You are telling us initially. I think somebody said the defense headquarters said they don't have enough armament. They don't have ammunition to go and confront those guys. Now they're telling us that because of the terrain, the distance is far. Before they could get there, the assailants have left and they committed the havoc already. Go and tell cock and bull story. With the kind of killing that has been taking place in Plateau State for over 3-4 years, it's not time to maybe have a military administration in that state or have military formations around the state, at strategic points. Why will it take so long for military to respond to that distress call? For Nigeria. So he's explaining now. So at the end of the day, Nigerians will just take the excuse and say, okay, he has explained now. What else do you want him to do? Because those side people will definitely support this flimsy excuse. So when Nigerians want to protest legitimately, the security officers always get credible information. But when it comes to innocent Nigerians to be massacred by certain tribes, the security officers don't get credible information. That is very bad. I tell you, that is very bad. My brother, you are absolutely right. Exactly. Nigeria is just something else. Ihejirika killed Boko Haram to the extent Buhari, El-Rufai, all the northern Muslim leaders and their followers began to cry and accuse him of killing northern children. So, but when Buhari came, the former northern children became Boko Haram with huge defense budgets. So you are a bloody liar. It was during his time Chibok girls were kidnapped. Stop deceiving yourselves. Are you not one of Boko Haram? Can you imagine? This one is quarreling with somebody here. This excuse by the military is unacceptable. Areas affected by the killings are accessible and have military posts in close proximity. So what happened? Why did they not react? Why did they not intervene? Did they run? Because that could be another thing. They will run, and after they run, they will go and make press statement of how the place is or whatever. So you had military formations around, you have checkpoints there. Meanwhile, they couldn't do anything. Were they disarmed? Were they overpowered? Only God knows. Oh, wow. Some say, go on. Where are you? You think you were doing me. Now, how market? Now, wow. How is this the business of Gowon? That's a very big question. It's because of one Nigeria now. When Ojukwu wanted to start fighting for Biafra, Gowon was fighting for Nigeria. And Nigeria had access to the state ammunition for the country. While Biafra was just importing from other places and scavenging. The appointments of defense chiefs and head of security agencies have become based on political and ethnic and religious conveniences rather than meritorious competence backed by seasoned experience and accomplishment. This is the reason why someone will open their buccal cavity and spew this nonsense of an excuse for the failure in their duty to protect lives, and yet they retain their jobs, whereas they should be fired with immediate effect. Sense will follow, or sense will fall on them, on Nigerians one day. So the military headquarters, the defense headquarters has explained why they are not able to intervene, why they are not able to respond enough, because of the terrain, because of several logistic reasons. But no reason is acceptable, because high military formation already staged in that area. So why couldn't they act as expected? So thank you for listening. Let's have a comment.